Alright, welcome everybody. This is Dr. Boyle. I'm going to be going over your graduation requirements as well as complete a credit summary with you guys. If you were here last school year, we did the same activity with your transcript. The reason why we're doing it right now is because February will be the month that you register for your classes for next school year. So it's very important that you know exactly what classes you need to graduate to make sure that you're on track. Now, if you're a senior, this is just double checking behind everybody that has looked at your schedule. I want to make sure that you know if you're going to be eligible for HOPE or not. So it's important for you guys to complete this as well. Okay, so the first thing I'll do is go over graduation requirements to make sure that you are on track. The first area is English and Language Arts. You have to have 4 credits to graduate. 2 of those must be 9th grade lit and American lit. The other 2 can be any literature course like 10th grade lit, Brit lit, multicultural lit, but it has to end with lit. It can't be yearbook, mythology, newspaper, any of those. Even though those are taught by English teachers, the course has to end with the word literature. So you have to have 4 of those. In math, you must take Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2. So if you started in Foundations, that can be your 4th math class, but you have to have these 3. Remember, support class does not count as a math credit towards graduation. You're in support to help you graduate so that you'll pass those classes, but you cannot count the support as a math credit, okay? And then in science, you also have to have 4. You have to take biology. You have to take either physical science or physics. And then you also have to have either chemistry, environmental science, or systems, or you take an AP or an IB course. The 4th science class that you will take, you have lots of different options that some of you may be taking. You can take astronomy, zoology, you could take AP biology, AP chemistry, you could take anatomy, you could take, there's some CTAE courses like Essentials of Healthcare or Food for Life. So there are a lot of different options that you'll be hearing about for your 4th science. But these 3 listed here, biology and physical science or physics, and then these are required. Okay, and then in social studies, you guys have to have American government, world history, U.S. history, and economics. If you are a transfer student, you may be coming from a county that only did half credits of American government and economics, but in this county, Douglas County, we take full credits. Okay, so you'll have 4 full credits of social studies when you finish. The next section is CTAE, which stands for Career Tech Agriculture Education. Then there's foreign language and or fine arts. So in this area, you have to take 3. So you could take 3, all of them foreign language. You could take 3 in fine arts or CTAE. Or you can split them. So you might have 2 fine arts and a CTAE, but you have to have it. And believe it or not, there are people that don't graduate because they don't have 3 credits in this area. You have to have health and personal fitness. They're taught as half credits, but you receive a full when they're together. Okay, and then the last area is just other electives. So this could be general PE classes, weight training, and it could be, if you take more than the 3 CTAE, fine arts, or foreign language, it could be 3 more of those. Okay, so the total number that you've got to get to is 23. I also want to remind you that 8 of those classes that you have to take to graduate have end of course tests. And if you don't take the end of course test, you get an incomplete, and you cannot graduate with an incomplete. So it's very important that you know what courses those are. So you have EOCs in biology, physical science, 9th grade lit, American lit, Algebra 1, geometry, U.S. history, and economics. Remember, EOCs count as 20% of your grade. So again, very important that you know what classes have EOCs. You take the EOC and take it seriously. And then finally on this page is the promotion requirements. Hopefully you guys remember from each year you have to have certain credits to be promoted to the next grade. So to get from 9th to 10th grade, you had 5 credits. 10th to 11th is 11 credits. And then 11th to 12th grade is 18 credits. Okay, so remember, you can be in the right grade but not have the right classes. So just because you are labeled a senior in the computer does not mean that you will graduate. and vice versa. We have a lot of 11th grade students that should be seniors, and they have all the classes that they need, and they will graduate. So it's very important to know both of these. You got to know what classes you need, as well as how many credits it is to move up. Okay, the next activity we're going to do is the credit summary sheet. Depending on the type of student you are, will depend on what color sheet you have. So the yellow is for non-IB students, and then pink is for IB. So make sure that you go ahead and get that from your advisor at this point, because we're going to get started. I'm going to show you how to do it. So in addition to this sheet, you are also going to have a transcript. So the transcript is important because this is where all of the classes that you take in high school, your courses and your grades will go. It also will include EOCs, so you can see that this person took biology and algebra EOCs, and the 9th grade lit EOCs, and that's listed there. This is what goes to colleges. So very important that you know what's on your transcript, and if there are any errors, you need to make sure you let your counselor know. If you are new to our school and you don't have a transcript, then you need to make sure you're talking to your counselor, because we have not received an official transcript yet. Okay? So if you don't have a transcript, I want you to use your 18-week progress report grades and just pretend with us. Okay. So I want first everybody put your name on your sheets, and we're going to get started. So the purpose of the credit summary is to make sure that you are in the right classes, and that if there was something that you need to make up because you failed it the first time, you know that. And then also to receive HOPE, you need 4 rigorous classes. So this sheet has all of that information. So here are your graduation requirements. Everybody needs to choose a pathway. We'll talk about that in a second. And then here are the pathways that we offer. And then HOPE, other credits, and then courses need to be retaken. So this sheet's very important. You can't tell us in 11th grade that you missed something because you didn't know, because we're telling you every single year. So what we're going to do is we're basically going to look at our transcript, and we're going to transfer it to our credit summary. So the first thing is personal fitness. I made a 94. So remember, that is a graduation requirement. Okay. I made an algebra 1 support. I made an 89, and remember, this support class is not a graduation requirement. So I'm going to put that down here, and you can abbreviate. I made an 89. Okay. So that is just another class that I took. In the content class, you can see I made a 70. So I'm going to find algebra 1. I made a 70. In American government, I made a 57. So remember, anything under a 70 is failing. In biology, I made an 82. In health, I made a 70. So you're just going through. Now, if you're a junior and senior, you have multiple years that you need to transcribe over. So just be working on that right now. Intro to law. And we no longer have that pathway, but you can add, it says other CTAE pathways. So I took intro to law. So if you transferred from another school system, you might have another pathway. And then in 9th grade lit, I made a 65. And in theater, I made a 70. Okay. So and then I only have 1 year, so I'm done, but if you have more years, you can keep working. So just looking at the top, remember, these are the things that you have to graduate. I see already I have 2 classes that I have to make up. I made a 65 in 9th grade lit, and I made a 57 in American government. So down here at the bottom, I'm going to write 9th grade lit. I need to make it up. And then American government, I failed that as well. So you can see at the bottom. Okay. The next thing I want you to look at is your pathway. So to graduate from high school, every student has to identify what pathway they are going to be completing. And so you can see it can be in world language, so that's French or Spanish here. CTAE, and here are all the CTAE pathways that we offer, are fine arts, and then all the fine arts pathway. So let's say I would like theater to be my pathway. So right here, I'm identifying that's my pathway by writing in theater arts. So the hope is that you're in theater arts too. You need to at least be in your second level pathway as a 10th grader, and then if you're an 11th grader, you should definitely be in the second level as well, because you have to get 3 classes. So all pathways are 3. Okay? So continue working on your credit summary so you can make sure that you are on track. Once registration starts, if there are classes that you have to retake, your advisor will give you more information about how to sign up for those classes. The last thing I want to talk about is HOPE scholarship requirements. So not only is there a GPA requirement, you also have a rigorous course requirement. So right now, you have to have 4 rigorous courses to be considered eligible for HOPE. I've listed all of the HOPE rigor courses that we offer at DC, and so in that area on your credit summary, and seniors, this is especially important for you to do, I need you to write down your HOPE rigorous courses. You need 4 of them. Okay, so all AP courses count and all IB courses. That does not mean honors or PIB. So just AP and IB would count. And then all courses that you've taken through dual enrollment would count. So you can see very quickly if you've taken multiple AP classes or dual enrollment or IB, you've probably already done with the requirement. Okay, in math, if you take Algebra 2 or pre-calculus, those count. So remember, everybody has to take Algebra 2, so that would already be one for everyone. In science, all 4 of these, chemistry, physics, forensic science, and the human anatomy, will count as a HOPE rigor course. And then in our foreign language area, anything French 2 or Spanish 2 and higher would count. So it's very important, if you plan on getting HOPE, you have the GPA, you also have to remember that you have to have HOPE rigorous courses. Okay, so our next steps, the next time you meet with your advisor, you're going to be looking at the classes that you can sign up for electives. So again, if you have questions, if you're missing a transcript, make sure you come talk to any of the administrators or your counselor. Thank you.